We're going to be talking with head coach Bob Burton of the state champion Paden City Wildcats in just a couple of moments. Final stats in the basketball game show the Bramwell Millionaires 25 of 52 from the floor, 48%. They were 11 of 16 from the free throw line. That's 68.7%. Paden City Wildcats 19 of 41 from the floor, 46%, but they were 33 of 43 from the free throw line, 76.7%. They turned the basketball over 6 times, while the Bramwell Millionaires turned the basketball over 7 times. And again, the final score, the Paden City Wildcats 71, the Bramwell Millionaires 61. And the Paden City Wildcats of head coach Bob Burton are state champs for 1986-87. We've been joined by Bob and Jay.
I'll tell you what, I've known this guy for a long time. And Fred, there is not a better individual, a guy sharper with his program, Bob Burton. And Bob, I tell you, I could almost read as soon as you got that lead early, you were going to spread it out and let Troy Cooper do it for you, and he did it.
Well, we felt like, you know, they were much stronger around the boards than we were. And, you know, they got an early lead on us, and we really didn't want to have to go to man, and somewhere we got back in it. I told the kids at halftime, I said, fellas, if we get up 2 points, we're going to spread it out.
Coach Burton, I talked with you yesterday, and the fact that on the first game, in your quarterfinal game, Troy Cooper had 18 points. The second game in the semifinal, he had a different 18 points. This afternoon, he scores 27. I think we saw Troy Cooper at his best possibly in yesterday's game and this afternoon's game, dishing it off, doing the things that he had to do for your team.
Well, you know, I felt kind of bad after the first game because Troy's responsible for us being here. I mean, he just played super all year. And, you know, he and I had a talk after the first game, and I said, Troy, look, I said, there's a lot of pressure on you. Let's go into this next game. If the shots come, take them. Don't try to force them. And, of course, today I told him before the game that he's going to have to shoot a little more. But I don't think, you know, he made a lot of foul shots, I know, and he didn't really force up that many bad shots.
Well, that's my point. I think that of all the guards, there's been good guard play in this tournament in all 3 classifications. He's the one kid that I like. He plays it smart. When he makes that penetration, he's under control. Very few charges. He gets the ball to the open man, and he always, Bob, seems to get the pass to the right guy.
Well, you know, he's done this for us all year. Troy is a great player, and I think, you know, with a little bit of work, he's going to help somebody on the college level. He realized he's got to change some things. Yeah. You know, we had some trouble with his shot. He's got his hand too high on the ball, but we didn't want to mess with that, you know, till he's going to have to do that on his own.
Right.
You know?
You talk about free throws, Bob. In the basketball game, Troy alone was 17 of 19 from the floor, or from the free throw line. But your team, 33 of 43 in a pressure game. Both teams undefeated. That's just tremendous free throw shooting.
I'm going to tell you what, these kids have been great all year. You don't go 27-0 without pressure players, because we've played some good teams, and, you know, we've had to come through at times. And this is kind of a typical game.
Let me ask you one thing, Bob. You know, Fred brought it up, and I said I was going to stand 6 feet away from you when we did this interview if you won the basketball game. How long's this sweater been on, buddy?
I've had this sweater on for all 27 of them. I may burn them when I get home.
No, you're not going to do that.
That sweater's 27-0.
Right. And these pants and this shirt.
Well, I'm going to get 12 feet back in, Burton. That's what I'm going to do.
Bob Burton and the Paden City Wildcats. Again, you look down at your roster, okay? You're 27-0. You're Class Single A state champs. And my goodness gracious, you got Mike Morris coming back. You've got Mike Harlan coming back. You look, you've got Jeff Anderson coming back off the bench. Aaron Jones, who played a lot today. Lance Heasley. You got to be a smile on your face.
Well, you know, we're going to have to work with some guards. If we get some good guard play, we'll be a very competitive team next year. We felt, you know, there's only 4 kids here we were here last year, and there's only 4 of these kids that are returning. We got 8 new people there. So if we can come up with a couple guards, I think we're going to be very competitive.
What about your feeder program, Bob? Is it something that could you see this club coming early? I mean, was there any in the early part of the season? Is there something that put it together? You knew you had Cooper, so you build around him, which is smart. But I'm just saying, is this something you saw down the road building towards this? Not only a championship, but an undefeated season now.
Well, you know, these kids have been winners all the way up through from 5th grade up,
okay.
The 2 classes there, and they've done an excellent job. I got to give credit to our junior high program. We've had a lot of good people work with these kids. You know, any coach that thinks that he does it all, I think is in the wrong game. If you don't have good people around you, you're lost.
Bob, 1987 Class Single A state champions, undefeated. Tell me what that means to Bob Burton personally.
Well, you know, I feel very good for the kids, and I feel very good for our community. Our school is, we're